Music is the most competitive industry right next to professional sports. You have to trade the good gigs for the great gigs. There is no right way to start. There is no right time to start. You just start. People are going to have opinions. You may as well just accept it and lean into it. There is no shortcut. You only get great at anything by doing that thing a lot. People will show you their red flags early on if you let them. So let them. You think they're not gonna say, is this person really taking their music career seriously?
Today's special guest is an award-winning actor, drummer, and mentor, Stephen Michael Martin. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Stephen, before we get into it, we asked that our last guest leave a question for our next guest. So the question that I have for you is, what is the number one thing that you're trying to accomplish currently in your life? What is that top priority?
Everything that I'm doing is with the intention and the purpose of like, how do I do more for others in a positive way?
Nice. So behind the music, it's like, how do I provide some community service? How do I give back? And how do I actually help others? I mean, that's very rewarding. I mean, you're helping someone else. There's no better satisfaction than that, to be honest.
Right.
Well, Stephen, for someone who's never heard of you before, how would you describe what you do and the type of music that you play?
What I do is a lot more independent, which is I do all of my own booking, my own management, my own promoting, and I get booked with a variety of clients. Most of the time it's musicians, other times it's audio engineers, other times it's producers, sometimes it's directors, sometimes it's composers, but I essentially jump from studio to studio and play drums on different tracks. I also do movie soundtracks. I also do a wide variety of different things where you need percussion, you can hear drums in it, but it's not necessarily limited to just playing drums on songs for bands.
Did you do everything right out the jump? Like, how'd you get started?
I knew from the very beginning of my career I wanted to be a session player. When I was 18, I signed my first contract with a record label. And every step of the way, I realized, well, first and foremost, I only get to tour and record with one band. That's nice in the beginning, but I also knew I could fluently play tons of different styles of music outside of just the heavy rock that we were playing. But I wanted to tap into other genres and basically demonstrate for people like, oh, I can play heavy rock, but I can also play country, blues, punk, metal, reggae, like you name it. I knew deep down I could play every mainstream style.
What was it that made you say, aha, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life?
My earliest memory was my parents fighting in the middle of the night, and I was probably 5. I was sitting in the hallway in silence, just listening to them screaming at each other. So they divorced when I was 7. And so I turned on MTV, and I just watched all of these rock stars and punk rock stars and metalhead rock stars. And I was just like absorbed by it and submerged in it. As a young child, I must have thought, if I can reach this point of like success and notoriety and popularity and hopefully wealth, then that will allow me to escape from this very broken, damaged family.
Do you find that escapism is really why people like enjoy music so much?
Music provides a very divine form of escapism that usually doesn't get talked about very much. Like in some way or another, when we listen to music and we are really like submerged into it, it takes us to a different place, psychologically, emotionally, for some people, even spiritually.
If you could give yourself advice, the 7-year-old you, what was that thing that would have helped navigate life at a young age?
I wish that I had some kind of philosophical thing that I could share with myself, but very much like you said, I was in such survival mode that at that point in my life, it wouldn't have mattered what anyone told me, even if I was talking to myself.
What was your support system like?
I have people who try to talk me out of it today. I've been in the industry for 14 years. I have performed and recorded with Grammy Award winners, CMA Award winners, Emmy Award winners, 1 or 2 #1 hit pop artists, a 12-time platinum Warner artist, a 3-time charting Sony artist, multi-platinum producers, and I still have people in my family who have no knowledge of the industry, and they will tell me like, yeah, it's really hard, you know, it's not exactly a stable lifestyle, so you might want to think about something else. It's like the ship has left the harbor. I'm out to sea.
With all of the critics out there and musicians that are just starting out, what advice would you give them?
So here's something I discovered recently. If they're releasing their music online and they're afraid of people laughing at it, instead of fighting against it, instead of worrying about it, instead of doing everything you can to avoid it, lean into it. Give them something to judge. Go into it with the intent of acknowledging people are going to judge this. I may as well give them something to judge, right? Or people are going to insult this. They're going to make fun of it. Give them something to insult and make fun of. The young musician wins, and the troll or the hater, they also win. Everyone wins.
When you are getting the negative criticism from the people that are closest to you, how do you deal with that chatter?
Instead of immediately figuring out how I'm going to respond or prove a point or have the last say, I am notorious for just sitting with it. Just sitting with it and sometimes not thinking anything at all. Just letting their words sort of sit with me. More often than not, I can pinpoint areas in which they're right.
What qualities does a musician need to have to be successful?
I think if you can have a ruthless, relentless level of self-belief where even your heroes and your mentors could tell you that you're never going to make it, and you're still in that mindset of, watch me, that's going to get you much further than people think.
What are the red flags that musicians should start paying attention to?
Work with a lot of musicians and really be an observer. Watch how people interact. Watch how people play. Watch how people interact with, let's say, like the sound technician at a show, or the producer in a studio, or even the other musicians in a studio. People will show you their red flags early on if you let them. So let them.
The guitarist, maybe there's the singer, and there's the internal fighting. Like, what's the best course of action?
If I go in and I argue, well, this is the part I wrote. Well, this is how I want to play it. Well, I'm not quite feeling it that way. Well, your terminology is actually wrong, and you actually mean to say this. It's a waste of time. We could turn it into a 10-hour session where we're going back and forth with all of this unnecessary noise, or you can be a professional about it and say, okay.
Do you have any tips for new artists that are trying to navigate those negotiations?
Creating a rate sheet, that's the easy part. Committing to your rates. Now that takes some discipline, because all of those opportunities that come in that are probably just going to pay you whatever it pays, those are going to be tempting, right? That's what you're familiar with and what you're used to. So once you have the rate sheet, it's like, these are the rates. I cannot step outside these rates. And most musicians, I think, have already done it enough. Like, haven't you done enough gigs where you just paid whatever they want?
How did you stop yourself from not settling for less?
You have to give up the good gig if you want the great gig, right? The same reason any of your favorite bands or artists are not playing the pub down the street, right? It's not just because of their talent. It's not just because of their success. It's because somewhere along the line, they made an agreement with their self. I cannot settle for less than what I'm worth anymore. And if you are a musician of high quality and high value and high professionalism, how long do you want to play the bars for low money?
Is the online presence a big hidden part of being a musician?
People look into you much further than you probably expect. When you have that strong social media following, you have a lot more leverage. You have a lot more value you can contribute to the people that you want to work with. If you have an Instagram with 28 followers, if you have a YouTube channel that you never post on, if you don't even have a professional Facebook page, what you're communicating to other people in the industry. I'm not talking just about other musicians. I'm talking about promoters, publicists, record labels, audio engineers, producers, recording studios, all these people that you're hopefully going to work with if you want to work with them, right? If they're looking into you and they're seeing these borderline nothing numbers, you think they're not going to say, is this person really taking their music career seriously?
But for a musician who just wants to play, that really doesn't know much about social media or is really uninterested about it, where should they start?
This is actually something I learned from Snoop Dogg. There is no right way to start. There is no right time to start. You just start and you figure it out as you go. The people who don't build a strong following are the people who at some point just give up and they just stop. And the people who never build a strong following are the people who never start at all.
If people want to reach out to you, if they want to get connected, if they want to get some of your mentorship, where can they find you? Where can they reach out?
On Facebook, it's Stephen Martin Official. On Instagram, it's Stephen Martin Official. And on YouTube, it's Stephen Martin Official. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I got lucky enough when I first launched all my social media pages that handle was not taken. So even before I started posting on them, I just wanted to lock them in to make sure that they were mine. So yeah, I've had the same social media handles ever since I went independent with my career, and served me pretty well so far. It's also easy for people to remember. Like sometimes I'll meet musicians and I'll be like, oh, what's your Instagram? And when they say like, Dave Tough 94321_5. It's like, do you want to just write it down for me? Because you just said it and I don't remember all of that. There's something about Stephen Martin Official. I got lucky and it's worked very well. And all of those handles have been mine ever since I got them.
We'll get the links in the description below. We'll also have the lower thirds pop up. So people that want to reach out can easily click in and find that information. If you had to give them one additional thought for the musician that's starting up, what would that advice be?
Ask yourself with sincerity and humility what you can do to best serve others.
So in a way, find out how you can serve others through the creative process. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's what pulls you back in constantly? Is it the purpose, the why behind it?
Over time, your pursuit of music, your love for music, your passion for music, it will be tested and it will burn out. None of these are negative things. They're just natural things. It happens. So when you concentrate your energy on others, when you devote that same level of commitment, passion, love, everything that you have in your pursuit of music, to others, it helps tremendously with those times, because then you're not just going through the motions for yourself.
How do you deal with the burnout?
Experiencing burnout is like getting really sick. It doesn't matter how much you fight it. It doesn't matter how much medicine you take. The only thing you can do is wait for your own natural recovery. And that's what happened to me.
I guess time is the best medicine. Mm-hmm. It'll eventually pass. Stephen, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Key Concepts Podcast. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and your music experience and all the tidbits, your advice, and all your experience.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was fun.
If there's one takeaway from this conversation, just know that where you are at is part of the process. So thank you for watching this episode of Key Concepts Podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one.